Morning, guys. It is Tuesday, July 7th, just after the holiday weekend. Had a few days off there just to relax and rewind, spend some time with the family. It was the 250th birthday for the country, so it was kind of cool to be a part of that, and just had a good time unwinding a little bit. So now for an update. I couldn't really justify the professional editing that I was paying for. I mean, if you look at the views on the channel, everything is in its infancy. So with that, I really couldn't justify the exorbitant costs associated with having a third-party editing. So a lot of these videos from here moving forward are just going to be basic truck talks and then basic roof inspections with very little editing involved. More of just the POV day-to-day kind of interactions. Maybe one inspection here or one point out there. And by point out, I mean like, hey, this is a unique situation and I want to educate you all on what it is that I'm checking out. So it's been a very fruitful season so far. As of July 1st / June 30th, I hit $2.5 million in revenue over the span of 70 contracts signed. So I'm at the halfway point of the year, and I'm at the halfway point of my sales goal, which is $5 million for the 2026 season. So I'm very grateful for that. Momentum is solid right now. I've probably got 300,000 to be signed right now, maybe a little bit less, like in the next week or two. And then alongside of that, I've got maybe $500,000 in appraisals. And then separate of that, I've got probably upwards of $500,000 to be signed with multifamily opportunities. So we're right on the cusp of hitting that $3 million price point here in the next, I would say probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks is a safe bet. So $3 million at the end of July, and then August, September, October, November. So we'll see. I mean, I set a very high goal, but I do feel that it's attainable, especially if I can get a larger project under my belt, which, I mean, based on all the success that I've had with growing relationships this year and networking and everything like that, I have a strong feeling that we're going to see something come through in the next month or two that will really propel me towards that $5 million sales goal. So today we've got 2 roof builds going. I have one in Westmont and then Downers Grove. I actually have 3 roof builds going. I have Westmont, Downers Grove, and then Inverness. 2 GAF Timberline installs for asphalt, basic asphalt shingle roofs. And then up in Inverness, I've got a GAF Grand Sequoia AS, which is a class 4 luxury asphalt shingle. Basically, the homeowner was partially approved through insurance proceeds, and they're using those proceeds to pay for an asphalt shingle. So that's very, very nice, and does a great job. So other than that, I've got 3 or 4 inspections scheduled for today. But the reason that I wanted to jump on the line this morning is to share with you something that I really focus on, especially on the backside of the season, where you find yourself getting lazy, and with that, a lot of times you lose the momentum that you've been striving to gain up until this point. So a way that I really hold myself accountable is with this daily planner here. And you could use a journal like this, just a basic black journal. But basically what this does is it helps you set goals and hold yourself accountable on a day-to-day basis. So like if you look at a blank page here, it's got your date, your goals, so like a punch list of things that you want to get done for that day. It's got a reflection journal, and then it's got information asking whether or not you've been actively participating in reading a book. And what it does is it keeps your mind in check. It keeps your physical prowess in check. It keeps your spirit in check. So what I mean by that is basically this is an accountability journal where every day you write down a list of topics that must be executed, and then the expectation is that before you go to bed, you knock out each and every one of those punch list items, which guarantees some form of forward momentum. It's right around now, mid-July, where a lot of guys have seemingly made the money that they hope to make, or they haven't made the money that they hope to make. And in either instance, a lot of times they find themselves waking up late, showing up to job sites late, refusing to network or knock doors or generate leads in any way, shape, or form. And they basically ride the wave of success that they've had or haven't had up until that point. So for a 1099 guy, a lot of times that means, hey, I made my 100K, I can coast. My bills are paid for the next, several months. And for a W-2 guy that's maybe not hitting their goals, hey, I still get my draw regardless of whether or not I really perform well. So I'm just going to take it easy. I'm going to, take the day off. I'm going to mail it in. I'm going to take my time responding to emails. I'm going to take my time responding to phone calls. And don't get me wrong, I've done this 10 years now. I've fallen into that habit. Everybody is susceptible to basically conceding at some point in the season. It's just at what point in the season do you start to mail it in? Now, with something like this where you've got a journal and you're writing down your daily goals and habits, you're holding yourself to a higher standard than that of if you didn't. And the idea is that if you're at 75% capacity, and your journal holds you at 75% capacity, then you're very rarely going to deviate from and away from that 75% capacity. But if you don't have that journal and you're at 75% capacity, you're going to continue to dwindle, and you may have times where you're way up, but generally speaking, the trajectory is going to be downward. So what I would recommend to guys that are in the industry that find themselves in a little bit of a comfortable spot is to implement something like that, so that no matter what, on a daily basis, they're executing in some way, shape, or form that's measurable and executable. So some of the tasks that I take on a daily basis, especially in this time of year, is I'll follow up with strategic referral partners and ask them for feedback. I'll drop off lunches, I'll drop off breakfasts, I'll offer to provide trainings. And again, we're in the thick of it. Like I said, we're doing 3 roofs today, and I'm inspecting 3 different properties today, and I've got an adjuster meeting. But what I'm getting at is I find ways in order to fill my time in order to continue to manifest the momentum that I'm hoping to achieve and continuing and striving to move forward. So anyways, I try and meet with strategic referral partners. I reach out, I ask for, feedback. I'll a lot of times start sending out gift cards and thank you notes to previous customers that we've already wrapped up roofing projects for as a soft touch. I will a lot of times start sending out follow-up emails and text messages to customers that I had previously quoted out in the last 45 days that may have gone cold or may have been on vacation or may have been entertaining other opportunities with different companies. Separate to that, I'll also look to network. So I'll be reaching out to people on LinkedIn, on Facebook, social media across the board in order to try and be top of mind for those individuals on their social feeds. So that means actively engaging on feeds, posts, posting myself with photos, videos, testimonials, things like that. And that's just the work portion of this thing. So separate to that, I'll also, on my 5 daily tasks, implement my strategy for weightlifting, my strategy for protein intake, my daily goals in order to read, whether that's my Bible or a book that I'm actively learning from. And then separate to that, I'll also make a goal in some way, shape, or fashion to spend more time with my family, to be more intentional with my free time. Right now, I have been spending a ton of time with my 2 children every night, right around 5. I turn off the laptop, and from 5 until 7 when they go to bed, the only thing that I'm looking to do is focus on those 2. And that's really helped my relationship with my wife, and that's also helped my relationship with my children, who are still very young. But it just creates a certain level of accountability that I can track, knowing that, hey, I'm doing my part in being a good father and a good patron and a good leader across the board. So again, it's a very small and easy thing to implement. Just grab a journal, write down a few things that you plan to do every single day, and try to do them on a daily basis. Now on the weekends, it's hard to execute. It doesn't necessarily make sense to reach out to people on a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. So a lot of times I spend that time reflecting and kind of pivoting my daily goals and habits for that day. I spend time in the yard. I spend time with my family. I spend time with my dog. I spend time being spiritual. I'll pick up the Bible for a half hour or 45 minutes or even an hour at a time and try and read an entire book and get the message through. So again, very simple, easy, and executable tasks that you can track. That'll keep your momentum moving forward with the right kind of trajectory that you're looking to maintain and grow upon. And frankly speaking, we're in July right now. So if we look 90 days ahead, we're already into October, which means that we're nearing the end of the season. So a task list like this that is executable upon for the next 90 days that you're tracking, the only thing it's going to do is benefit you, and it takes very little time in order to create a daily habit of writing them down, tracking them, and then executing upon them. Anyways, that's all I got, guys. Again, this is just a one take in the truck. There's going to be no editing here. I'm literally just going to post this, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys. Again, this is Justin with Style. You guys have a great day. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. I appreciate it. Thanks.